My neighbor Alice, or the Alice token, is up quite a lot today, and there's some news around the token. Now let's have a look how sustainable that rally is. Let's have a look at relative valuations. Let's have a look at on-chain metrics. Who's buying here? Who's selling here? Now we're currently at $1.45. We're up 27% today. This week we are up more than 50%, but the Alice token had been pretty much a roller coaster ride. Sometimes we pump, sometimes we dump. And when we're zooming out, we can actually see why the performance wasn't that great long term. This is the long-term price chart. This is the long-term market cap chart. So the market cap isn't actually that low. The price chart though is. And that's because of token inflation. There's simply way more Alice tokens floating now than a few years ago. That being said, we now won't see that much token dilution anymore. The market cap is at 100 million. The fully diluted market cap is at 145 million. So it's less than an increase of 50% in the supply. So the tokenomics used to be pretty bad. It's not that bad anymore. Now your neighbor Alice is a crypto game. And the reason for this recent rally could be this. From beta to mainnet, a few words from my neighbor Alice's CPO. This is not relating to the game directly. This is relating to the blockchain where the game will be housed. So have a look at this. My neighbor Alice is using the Chromia blockchain. Now that's a rather obscure blockchain. It's not a blockchain that's been used very much. It's a blockchain that focuses on relational database storage. And when we look at the website and we look at the ecosystem, it's actually the Your Neighbor Alice project that's been promoted most here. Now let's talk about on-chain metrics. Let's have a look at the buyers and sellers of the Alice token. Let's see who's jumping on this and how sustainable the current rally is. There are two versions of the token. There's one token on the Ethereum chain. That token has 8,500 holders roughly. There's another token on the Binance Smart Chain with almost 60,000 holders. So one might guess that there's way more capital on the Binance Smart Chain versus the Ethereum chain for the Alice token. Once we dive deeper though, that's not the case. But let's have a look at something else first. There's a very interesting data point on DEX Screener. So there are two major liquidity pools on the Ethereum chain. And when we look at the number of wallets that interacted in the last 24 hours, it's very, very low. There's only 32 wallets on the wrapped Ethereum based liquidity pool. There's 28 wallets on the Tether liquidity pool. So blockchaincenter.net says that my neighbor Alice is currently a trending coin, but on chain on Ethereum, we barely see any activity. Now here's the liquidity pool on the Binance Smart Chain. Here we've got almost 200 wallets that interacted in the last 24 hours. It's still not a lot, but it's a bit more than at least on Ethereum. Still, I'm not sure if it makes sense to call the Alice token trending. At least the people that are buying on-chain, they're not really active here. But still, let's have a look at the on-chain metrics, at least long-term. Let's look at the retail investors versus the whale investors. Let's start off with the Alice token on the Ethereum chain. This, over the very long term, over the years, tends to increase. On the left side, we've got the number of wallets that have at least 500 Alice tokens. So at the current price, that's roughly $750. That's what I consider retail. For the medium chart, we've got a 10x in minimum holding. So that's not 500, but 5,000 tokens. Here, the accumulation stopped in July of last year. And then we've got the whales. It's another 10x. So that's now at least $75,000 worth of the token. Here again, the accumulation stopped in June, July of last year. Here are the same kind of charts for the Binance Smart Chain. We also see long-term accumulation. And for the number of retail investors, the two chains pretty much have the same significance, right? Just have a look at this left chart. The number is pretty much the same. But once you look at the larger wallets, right? Once you look at the whales, then there's 80 whales with $75,000 worth of the token on Ethereum, but there's only 15 whales on the Binance Smart Chain. So the big wallets are definitely on Ethereum. They're not on the Binance Smart Chain. And so when the Alice token is going up because of those news published 12 hours ago, because of the Chromia mainnet launch, then what we should expect is that the Chromia token itself is also going up, right? That's in the end the main news. But actually, that's not what we're seeing. Check this out. chart, this is Chromia today, only up 2%. This is Chromia in the last week, up 5%. Chromia in the last month, up 12%. There's really not that much activity for Chromia. The mainnet launch didn't do much. There is something interesting though. You can stake Chromia, get a 10% APR. And here's the long-term Chromia price relative to Ethereum. So this is the relative Ethereum price. It went down since May of 2020 by roughly 30%, but it is in a somewhat predictable sideways trading range. We are neither super cheap nor super expensive on the CRH token. And so I actually have my doubt that it's the news that is driving the Alice price. Because again, on chain, we see barely any activity. I believe it's mainly movements made by Binance or by whales on Binance. Because have a look at this. This is the trading volume on the perpetual futures market on Binance. And we've seen 100 million worth of Alice token moving hands in the last 24 hours on Binance, on the derivatives, on the levered bets on the price. The spot market is also dominated by Binance. 23 million of trading volume over here. But again, compare this with the trading volume on chain, right? It's only 91K in this liquidity pool on Ethereum, 49K in the other one, and 78K here. So it's a bit over 200K of trading volume decentralized at more than 100x of that on Binance alone. I don't think this rally in Alice is natural, but I also don't know how much longer this price could get pumped, right? When it has already been manipulated that much, it could get manipulated further in the future. I notice that that token is also heavily owned by Binance. So Binance has 100% control over this price as well. And the price performed pretty much in line with Ethereum. And there's a 10% staking APR. And so maybe that's where the opportunity is. It's maybe not in the Alice token, it's maybe in Chromia. In case you've got Telegram, feel free to join us. I'm very much looking forward to chatting with you. It's 100% free. The link is down below. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to give this a like. Feel free to also subscribe. I publish videos on various altcoins regularly on this channel. See you next time. Cheers.